Speaking of craziness, I don't know if you guys saw, but in 2020, Ford announced that they would be making their first electric vehicle, and it would be the Mustang Mach-E. And this takes Ford and the Mustang in an entirely new direction. At first, when I thought of this, I was like, an electric Mustang sounds pretty cool. Like, I'm not a big car person. I'm not like into engines or motors, but I do think an electric Mustang would be pretty cool. And like me personally, I have a Range Rover, but Mustangs are known for having, roaring engines, having loud engines, being, a muscle car, being for people who like American-made cars. And what happened with Ford is they announced that they'd be making a Ford Mustang, which sounds good on paper. Electric Ford Mustang on paper sounds good to me. But then I started to realize that it's actually an SUV. And in my opinion, it doesn't even look so much like a Ford Mustang. Like if you look at this picture of the Mustang, it resembles it a bit, but it doesn't, to me, have that classic Ford Mustang look. I think this is a good idea, but I think if they were going to go about it, I thought the best way to probably do it, not Ford obviously, but in my mind, the best way to probably do it is just make a car, if you're calling it a Mustang, it should look like a Mustang, and it shouldn't be an SUV. They're already making a big change going from combustion engine, the typical Mustang, to having an electric vehicle Mustang. So to add on that change to being an SUV, that's a big, big change. These vehicles are starting at $47,000, which is, a reasonable price for electric vehicles, for Mustangs. And these vehicles aren't going to be designed for traditional Mustang owners, because a lot of Mustang owners are not going to like that they're making an electric vehicle out of this. But it's going to be people who are looking to get into electric cars, maybe considering Tesla's but a sportier sort of look, and that's why they may go with a Mustang instead. Originally, these vehicles were supposed to be delivered in 2020. They did get some delivered in 2020, but most of them are going to start rolling out in 2021, and we'll have to wait and see how these perform. In my mind, I don't really know if they're going to do so well, just because it's so different. It's so different. It's not really targeting Mustang customers. It's not targeting traditional SUV customers. It's a very different sort of car. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about an electric Mustang that is an SUV. My personal opinion is I think, it may struggle a bit, but let me know your thoughts on this. If you would be interested in buying one. Me personally, I would much rather buy a Tesla or just an SUV like I have, like a Range Rover, but let me know your thoughts on this.